It was Christopher's idea to bury your son in the backyard?
It was my idea, and he just did it.
I know as a judge I'm not supposed to show emotion. And in 22 years I never have. Because this is unbelievable.
From stone-cold denials to full-blown meltdowns in the courtroom.
I just want to say that I'm appalled and disgusted by what I've done.
Hang on for the most jaw-dropping couples' reactions to life sentences.
Child molesters do not deserve to live. They got exactly what they deserve. Had to do it over again, I'd kill more.
In Cleveland, Ohio, what began as a disturbing tip ended in one of the most heartbreaking courtroom scenes Judge Russo had ever faced. Lissa Rodriguez and her boyfriend Christopher stood accused not just of neglect, but of the slow, silent destruction of an innocent life. The victim was Larissa's 5-year-old son, Jordan, a child with special needs. One night, Jordan became unresponsive, but instead of calling for help, the couple chose something unthinkable. They wrapped their own son in blankets and buried him in their own backyard. For nearly 2 months, they lied to everyone, even the police, claiming the child was out of state. But their web of lies started falling apart when Christopher's own brother tipped off investigators.
How you doing, ma'am? I'm calling from overseas, but I guess I need to talk to like a detective or somebody, or I don't know if you can. Basically, it's kind of messed up the whole situation, but my brother told me something, and I just can't sleep at night as far as, I don't know, I just kind of feel like I need to say something.
Something for concerning your brother?
Yeah, just, I know, it sounds crazy, but
what he told me. Where is he?
He lives off of Detroit, so I don't know his direct address. Basically, he told me that something happened with one of the kids, and they didn't call the cops, and basically him and his girlfriend buried the kid in the backyard.
That's when police began investigating Larissa and found her son in her backyard.
Well, we got a call wanting us to check on the well-being of the 4 to 5-year-old kid.
All my kids are good.
Okay. What can we see?
They're like,
Okay, I believe you.
I mean, they're all fine.
All right. Hello, kids. All right. What's your name, Mel? Hold on. You have any ID or anything?
She got 5 kids. She said she has 9.
It's like 4 in that room there. How many kids do you have, man?
I have 9 altogether, but I have some that don't live with me. But these are the ones that do live with me.
Do you have a child with special needs?
Oh, Jordan? Yes, I do.
How old is Jordan?
Jordan, he is just turned 5.
Where's Jordan at?
He's with his dad. He's going to be visiting for the holiday.
Where's Dad at?
In Texas. He's not even here.
When the truth surfaced, the courtroom turned cold. Larissa broke down as her sentence was read. 25 years behind bars. Christopher's reaction, almost emotionless, until the judge addressed him directly.
Jordan was a special, sweet little boy who would have developed and bloomed into a special soul. It is our deepest sadness to have this sweet boy's life extinguished and buried in an unmarked grave. As a family, we love Larissa because she too is our family. However, we can never reconcile ourselves with her deeds. We hope that you take our thoughts into consideration when you hold Jordan's parent accountable today. The Rodriguez and Cruz families.
Judge Russo didn't hold back. She called their actions a horror, and for the first time in her 22-year career, let her emotions show. She refused the plea deal recommendation and gave Christopher the maximum, 28 years.
So I want to say to the police, to the detectives Remington and Diaz, I certainly know that your job is very difficult. And I look at these photographs, and it's very hard. And I think you should be recognized more for the difficulty of what you do. And Mr. Rodriguez, this is a horror. I know as a judge I'm not supposed to show emotion. And in 22 years, I never have. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I will not accept the recommendation for Mr. Rodriguez. These crimes are horrific. I have to imagine that at some point you got on the internet and said, how do I bury a body? Because this is unbelievable to me.
In Utah, the story of Eric and Dia Millerberg shocked the community after a 16-year-old girl named Alexis Rasmussen vanished in 2011. Weeks later, her remains were discovered in a shallow grave, not far from where she was last seen. Eric, a former nurse-turned-gang member, and Dia, a mom of 5, were both accused of being involved. Alexis had been babysitting for them, and one night turned into a nightmare. Authorities say drugs were involved, and things spiraled out of control.
She passed away at their residence, and that it was the result of a drug overdose.
Dia testified against Eric in court, revealing the chilling sequence of events and admitting they waited over a week before reporting anything. Her testimony was key in Eric's conviction.
I just want to say that I'm appalled and disgusted by what I've done. And for your family, in a way I can't fix. You're my prayers, and I hope one day you'll be able to forgive me, and that God will bring me peace. Your Honor, I'm not going to make excuses for what I've done. I think it would only make things worse.
Eric was found guilty and sentenced to prison for what happened. Dia took a plea deal and also served time.
But sometimes, you do such acts that are such extreme and so heinous and depraved, burying this young girl's body and hiding her from the police. You've got to balance that, and you have to put it all in perspective. It's going to be the order and sentence of the court that you're to serve 3 indeterminate terms in the Utah State Prison of 0 to 5 years. I will recommend that they run concurrent. I will recommend that you get credit for all time served, which I showed to be approximately 62 days. I do agree that there is restitution. I will recommend to the Board of Pardons that there be $12,078.75 in restitution that they should consider at any time that you are paroled. I'm going to leave it to the Board of Pardons as to whether or not.
Jeremy and Christine Moody didn't just act on impulse. They had a plan, carried it out, and later showed no remorse. In court, they admitted to harming Charles Parker and his wife Gretchen. The charges included serious crimes like unlawful entry, kidnapping, and using a weapon. Christine read from the Bible, asked for mercy, and hoped they'd get the same sentence so they could stay connected through the years. Jeremy also asked the judge to show compassion.
Please have mercy on Christine and I so we can still have a chance to grow old together as husband and wife.
Save me, O God, for the waters are come into my soul. The Bible clearly states thou shalt not kill. I am sorry I broke that commandment, but I truly believe God has forgiven Jeremy and I hope you will too. I am here today to beg for mercy for my loving husband and myself, so Jeremy and I will have an opportunity to grow old together and spend time with our children, and God willing, our grandchildren.
But once they stepped outside, the masks dropped. Jeremy said, child molesters don't deserve to live. They got what they deserved.
Child molesters do not deserve to live. They got exactly what they deserve. Had to do it over again, I'd kill more.
What about what you said in court about repenting? Is that not true then?
No, it's not true. My lawyer made me say it.
Do you have anything to say to the victim's family?
May they die also.
The judge didn't need more convincing. He made it clear they were a threat to society and showed no real remorse. Both were sentenced to life in prison, where they'll have all the time in the world to think about it. In Hellendale, California, August 17, 2014, Robert Limon, a 38-year-old railroad mechanic, was found lifeless inside a BNSF shop building. What looked like a mystery soon took a dark turn when attention shifted to his wife, Sabrina Lee Hearn, and her younger companion, firefighter Jonathan Hearn. The two had reportedly met at Costco and started a secret relationship. Authorities uncovered suspicious texts, a failed poisoning attempt involving pudding, and later, a detailed confession from Hearn. He admitted to carrying out the act after Sabrina allegedly shared Robert's schedule and location. Phone calls recorded between them hinted at deeper involvement, including talk of guilt and divine forgiveness. These conversations played a major role in the trial. In court, Hearn testified against Sabrina. She denied being involved, but the jury wasn't convinced.
I offer you my broken-hearted and genuine apology, knowing that it cannot compare to the grief that I've caused all of you. To Robert's family and his dear friends, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for the grief that I caused. to Robert's mother that broke her heart.
In 2017, Sabrina was found guilty of planning and supporting what happened. She received a sentence of 25 years to life, while Hearn got 25 years and 4 months.
Insufficient evidence to support the convictions. The prosecution engaged in misconduct, and the trial judge failed to protect Limon's constitutional rights. Limon is currently serving 26 years and 4 months to life in prison. Jonathan Hearn, Limon's firefighter boyfriend who shot and killed Robert Limon 8 years ago, agreed to testify in Sabrina Limon's trial in exchange for a prison term of 25 years and 4 months. He testified Sabrina Limon was involved in planning her husband's death every step of the way.
In Guangzhou's Huadu district, a routine court session over a money dispute erupted into shocking violence. A woman named Yang and her estranged husband Huang faced claims from his mother, Liu, who accused them of not returning a wedding loan. Surveillance footage shows Huang lunging at Yang mid-hearing and pushing her to the floor. Liu then joined the attack, hitting Yang while stunned courtroom staff rushed in. The video quickly went viral online, sparking outrage about courtroom safety in China. Both Huang and Liu were detained for assault within the courthouse, while Yang received medical care. The case remains under investigation by Guangzhou authorities. In Missouri, Ray and Fay Copeland's story took a chilling turn when authorities began finding missing farmhands linked to their property. Ray, an elderly farmer, was caught luring transient workers to his land under the guise of helping them get back on their feet. Instead, he used these men in cattle scams, then claimed they never showed up, until remains started turning up, buried behind the barn. Forensic experts uncovered human remains belonging to at least 5 victims, along with clothing and a suspicious ledger. Subtle details like altered identities and farm shifts painted a shocking picture of betrayal and greed. In court, the Copelands maintained they had no idea what happened, but jurors didn't buy it. Their silence only fueled suspicion and sealed their fate. In 1990, both were convicted.
But I was not with him when he done his bad deeds. I knew nothing about it, and it didn't include me.
Ray received a life term. He passed away soon after. And Fay, who insisted she was just following him, was also sentenced to life. They became the oldest couple ever sentenced to life in U.S. history, though their lives behind bars never started.
Time one of my brothers was scraping the bottom of his bowl that had oatmeal. He didn't like the sound, took a frying pan to him. Myself personally, milking cows, the old cow kicked the bucket over, he took a pair of metal cow kickers and beat me with it for no reason. That was everyday occurrence with him. They were lower than anybody else. He could care less about them. They were on government payroll. They didn't need to be there. They didn't even need to be alive. He had said that lots of times about transients. Ray deserved it for what he done to the transients and the people all through his life. I mean, he deserved a death sentence.
And I just dropped my head and went ahead and took it. I've carried bruises, I've carried broken bones from him. But he was my husband legally.
I think she had some idea as far as the cattle scam going on. As far as the killings, I don't know. I don't think so. I hope, pray to God, she didn't know.
On Valentine's Day in Albuquerque, Stacy Uwa walked into court pretending to be a curious student. She sat quietly, chatted with lawyers, then casually moved to a seat meant for inmates. When no one was watching, she slipped something under the chair and walked out like nothing happened. Moments later, an inmate picked it up. Turns out, Stacy wasn't there to learn. She was there to secretly deliver a banned Valentine's gift. She was later caught and received 3 years probation. But here's the twist. Stacy and the inmate, Frank Chappelle, ended up getting married in 2019. From a sneaky courtroom stunt to walking down the aisle, this Valentine's Day plan didn't go as expected, but still ended in a love story.